Hello everybody, hi and welcome. I believe we have made it through to the 24th of December, which is quite incredible because it only seems, let me think, 8 weeks ago, something like that we were welcoming the lambs in the field in springtime. I can't believe how quickly this year's gone, despite all the upset and everything else that's been going on around the world. My own particular life seems to be going very quickly. Too quickly. Anyway, today let's all join together for just a bit of banter and a bit of crafting, and let's forget about peeling the Brussels sprouts, doing the trifle and all the things, making the stuffing and everything else that one does at this time of year. Right, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time on the booklet that we made yesterday, and then I'm going to move on to a couple of other things that I think may interest you. And you know, if you're not into Timmy, then it's something different to look at, isn't it? So we was this the one we made? No, we made the birdie one, which I haven't done any more on, but it's the same idea. So we have in the front a little tag that I made myself. That's cream card, just stamped it, stuck some mushrooms and bits and bats on. These numbers here, they were out of a Timmy book, an 8x8 actually. I think it's called Dapper. And the whole page, the whole 8x8 was just these numbers. So I've cut them out individually and I'm using them in my book, taglet, and I'm just embossing them. But I'm embossing them with, blimey, I have got so much stuff out here. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I'm embossing them with this stuff, which is Distress Embossing Glaze. And it comes in loads of colours, almost every colour that the Distress ink comes in. So, yeah. Get yourself some, I would say. I chose the fossilised amber because I thought it would give me a nice vintage look, and to a degree it does. It sort of fulfills that. So that just goes into there like that. Then over the page we've got this lady, and I embossed her with the same fossilised amber, and I think she looks great. I really like her. And because the sort of theme running through the book is mushrooms, those numbers, and floral theme, she hasn't got a number, she hasn't got a mushroom, but she has got this nice bouquet of flowers there. Then this one, it's got this little tag here with mushrooms, one of the embossed numbers. You see, you don't make your tags tag shaped all the time. This is the thing. Think outside the box. And so that just goes into there, not quite that far, like that. And I've got a bouquet of flowers here, mushroom there and a number. Hooray, I can tick that, we've fulfilled everything. And then here, number, mushroom, no flowers, but it doesn't need it, it's quite a bright page, that one. And here's a little pocket down there that I've just stuffed a couple of little tickets into. This is a Tracy Fox label, and I just cut it in half because, well, I liked the butterfly. It was way too big. The whole thing was wider than my entire page. But I quite liked the idea. And I know it seems a bit cruel, doesn't it, cutting a butterfly in half. But it's just a picture. It's just a picture of a butterfly, so it's not going to feel any pain. And I quite like it there, just the half in half. And I stamped that number there. So, yeah, I think we can tick everything on that page. Then here I tore out a pocket out of some Timmy paper, put some... what is he calls it? It's not washi, he calls it design tape. Yes, design tape down there. A little rows out the field notes snippets pack, and a couple of little tiny snippets, which I love. I love using those. And then I just popped a tag in there, stamped on it, put a mushroom on it, Bob's your uncle. That just slides into there. And then over the page, well, I've sort of started, I made a start to the pages, but I haven't completed them, but I have laid out some things that I think might be handy for us. All the mushrooms that I could find in the field note snippets kit, a tag. So let's just do this page first. Right. So I thought, what did I think? I thought I could put a mushroom at the bottom here. Or toadstool. You know, I don't know the difference between mushrooms and toadstools, so I call them all mushrooms. But I know that the majority of them, I guess, are toadstools. So sorry about that, but that's just, I've always called them mushrooms. And I like this green little snippet, and I think it needs to go in there behind that just to highlight that colour, otherwise it gets a bit lost. And also we've got the same colour down here in the grass that it's growing through, so quite like that. It it links together. It's not just one colour marooned on the page, which is what you're trying to avoid. You're trying to avoid just one colour, one place. You know, if you're using something, try and use it throughout the whole piece, and particularly on one page. If you're using, as I say, a bright colour like that, it would be good. It would be better to have it 3 times on the page actually. But I'll tell you the story of that in a minute. Right, so I've got this, which could go there, but it's going to hide. It's going to hide this. I think what I need is an embossed number, and I didn't emboss any up front, so I'm going to have to emboss one now. Yeah, the third green thing is going to be this tag. So there we have it. We have green, green and green. So we've got 3 greens on that page, which is a good thing to aim for. 3 greens, 3 reds, 3 blues, whatever. But I'm going to emboss some numbers. So I'm going to get my messy mat out. Thanks to Nancy, Fancy Nancy, for sending it to me. I just need to pick these up before I put my messy mat down, otherwise I'll never be seen again. I know that. This I know. This self-healing mat is a right pain to pick things up from. There we go. So let's just move that out of the way. Bring in the messy mat, which you can see I have been using. Right, I'm going to do 2 this time because otherwise I'm forever getting my embossing stuff out. So just make sure they're cut nicely. Yes, they are. Right, so what am I looking for? Oh yeah, my embossing pen. Here it is. And I need this, and I need a piece of paper. Piece of paper. You wouldn't think it could be that hard to find. Here's the piece I was using earlier, so that'll do nicely. Right. So if you've got a pouncer, you could use a pouncer. I've just got this pen and I think it works quite well. So I'm just going to go over the whole surface of that with my pen. If you don't get it all, if you think you've got it all and you haven't, don't worry, you can always do it again. Right, I think I've got all that. So it's very warm in here, so I'm just going to put this on straight away. And then I'll do this one. The thing about the Distress embossing glaze, as opposed to anyone else's embossing powders, is that it is translucent. It will show up. It's translucent. It will show up the colour of the glaze, but you can see through that to the thing underneath. So we'll alter the thing underneath by the colour, but you'll still see it, which is magical, I think. I don't know where my tweezers are. Why would I? Right, let's just pick these up. Just tap them gently. Don't tap them too hard, because if you do, you'll knock off all the stuff. I'm just getting my silicone mat here so I can heat them up without doing damage to anything. There we go. Right, so just in case I need to put these back in, I'm going to tip out the entire contents of my pot. It's a bit lumpy. Oh, they're just little soft lumps, so I can dash it back in if I need to. Right, so let's just have a bit of a search for tweezers. Here we are. Not so much of a search really at all. I'm just going to hang on to that there, warm my gun up. If you've got an embossing gun, now is the time to use it, apparently, so Timmy says, and I can understand because it does get hotter quicker than this, but this works perfectly well. I do have an embossing gun, it's just not here at the minute, so I'll just emboss those. Oh, I can see it going. It's going, it's going. Oh, that's it. And I'm just going to dump it back in there because you get a nicer coverage if you do it twice. That's it, it's on its way, it's going. You can do it 3 times, 4 times, 10 times if you want. And just to get rid of that bit where the tweezers were, if you just heat over it, you'll be fine. Right. Now I've got to pick this one up. These tweezers are not crafting tweezers. Oh, and I want to hold it a good way back because it does get a bit hot. Thank you. This should go quite quickly because the gun's really nice and hot now. That's it, it's gone. Shove it back into there. It's just thicker and it looks more, I don't know, just looks nicer. Not as dimply as well. So there we are, just warm that bit up where the tweezers were. Lovely.
Do you like the glaze better? Well, I guess it's horses for courses, I guess.
Better than ordinary embossing powder?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, because I can see through it. That lady that I did, for example, one of the Tim Holtz paper dolls. Where is she? Here. You can still see the creases of her dress and everything, which if I'd done it just a solid colour, she would just have a solid colour dress. You can see down here in the shadows and under her hands where the shadows are. All of that is still visible, which if I'd used just a plain colour, it would just be a straight up one dimension, if you like. So yeah, I do like that. I do like the embossing glaze a lot. And the same for these numbers that I'm doing now. If I hadn't used the embossing glaze and just used a straight up embossing powder, you wouldn't even see the numbers. It would just be one colour of, you know, whatever colour you'd used. So, yeah, I do like it. And it is my intention to buy some more. So there we go, that's that done. I mean, other people do clear embossing. That's it. Other people do clear embossing powders, which I use. I like just for the ones with colours in. I haven't seen anybody else do them. That's not to say they don't. Right, so where were we? We were doing our little book. Okay, so I'm going to stick that down there. I'm going to stick this mushroom. It's got a little bit there that needs weeded out. There we go. And I need some floral or some such up there. I don't want to obscure that 18 particularly. I like the red, but quite like that there. That's fine. So that's got floral and mushrooms. Yeah, quite like that. I've also got this I could possibly put behind it just to add a bit more interest. Yeah. Do I like that? No, I'm just going to go for the green. Just the green. So let's get something stuck down. So is everybody who celebrates Christmas all organised? Have you got all your presents wrapped? And oh, I've forgotten to ink round that. Silly woman.
Shazzy's popped in. She's having Christmas Day today.
Oh, happy Christmas. Very happy Christmas to you.
Rachel's loving your nails.
Oh, thanks, Rachel. So I'm going to stick that down there so it's right underneath this part of the mushroom. And that I have already inked round, but only with tea dye because I didn't want it really dark. My art glitter glue's gone really lively of late. I don't know.
Janya says, "Oh no, I'm still wrapping as you craft, Miss P."
Oh, really? Oh, we better get all those family presents wrapped up. So you're going up to New York, Janya? There we go. That's perfect. I like that.
Bernice is all organised.
Wow, Bernice. Well done. Well done. Doesn't take us much organising. Does it, Mr. F?
No.
None at all.
Not so as you'd notice.
None at all. The only thing we complain about is the telly schedule gets all mucked up. But tomorrow there's a new cricket match starting. We've lost the last two in this series, so not expecting great things, but you gotta watch just in case. Right, so that's gonna go there. Right, let's get that stuck on. So all of these little bits have come from the Tim Holtz Snippets Field Notes set. Really useful set.
Ross says her daughter wrapped all the gifts this year.
Whoa, well done, Shelley. We haven't had a roll call.
We haven't. I'm not even sure I've got one, but I'll try my best.
Okay.
Who have we got? Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Kyung.
Hello, Kyung.
Goni.
Hi, Goni.
Jan.
Hi, Jan.
Tamira.
Hi, Tamara.
Shaz popped on, didn't she?
Hi, Shaz.
Nancy.
Fancy Nancy.
Yes.
Hello, Fancy Nancy. That your cookies look delicious.
Bernice.
Hi, Bernice.
Sharon, did I say Sharon?
No, we didn't say Sharon. Hello, Sharon.
Rachel, did I say Rachel?
Yeah.
I think that if I've missed you out, you have to shout out. I haven't got a list going today.
Right, so I'm going to ink around this tag. And the ink I'm using is VersaFine Clair, and it's called Fallen Leaves, because I've given up with the Distress ink. I can't get it dark enough, and it takes me forever going round and round and round trying to get it dark enough. So yeah, I'm using the VersaFine Clair. Now then, I need to put some string or something on here, but I don't want it at the same height as that. So I might have to move that up a bit. Right, okay. I'm only putting thin string on anyway. This is fluffy string. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. I don't suppose. And I'm just, I'm not doing anything fancy. Just tie a knot in it. Like that, cut the ends off. And that's that.
Kyung and Janya both like wrapping.
Oh really?
Kyung wraps them the moment she gets them and then wanders around the house asking if anybody's got anything they need wrapping.
Yeah, because she's trying to see what they've got her for Christmas. I bet. Right, this one I've torn out a pocket out of the Tim Holtz. Oh, I didn't stick my number on there. What am I thinking? I don't think it needs a number. This one does though, so I'll put that there to remind me. And it needs probably needs a mushroom, although maybe not. It does, however, need some sort of tag out of something. Let's just have a look in my box and see what I can find that's the right sort of... Okay. My hand rested on this, but actually that's the right way. But if I put it that way, it doesn't really matter, does it? Is that going to be a bit on the dark side? Yeah, maybe. Let me just bring my box over a minute. We'll have a look and see what we've got. There's certain things that I don't want to... See my big bag of stamps that Mr. F got me from the charity shop? Yeah, Peter Rabbit toppers. I'm really going to need them, aren't I? There's something completely different. What else have I got? I've got all the bits in the bottom of here. Let's take those pads out. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? I think I was saving that for something. Well, I think its time has come.
Kyung says no, she's learned that lesson. When she was 10, she found all the presents and went through them all.
Oh.
And it kind of ruined Christmas morning.
Oh, what a shame. Yes, I like this. I like it a lot. That is the right way of it, but because it's a tag, I'm happy enough with it going there. So let's see where I need to kind of cut it. I'm going to cut this edge, I think, and I want it about there.
She's now envious of your bag of stamps.
We used to have a girl on the group called Regina, and she used to refer to those stamps as Queenie stamps. You know, the stamps with the Queen's head on. And it's kind of stuck with us. We always refer to them as Queenie stamps. So this is the last little page that I'm going to do in the taglet book today, and then we'll move on to other exciting things. Well, I think they're exciting. Right, I think I could probably cut that off there and that would be all right. I think so.
She says she wants to come to the UK just to visit the charity shops.
Oh, honestly, you and Mr. F, you would have the time of your life. I don't often visit charity shops, but when I do, it tends to be expensive, doesn't it, Mr. F?
Yeah.
I buy all sorts of things that I think I might want to use. That obviously I don't, but I get all excited. Right, so that's going to go there. Okay, so I don't think it needs anything floral because we've got this flower up here that also came in the worn wallpaper set. There's sort of a, I don't know, 20 die cuts of flowers. They're all a bit, I haven't put ink on this. This is the colour they were. I think it's heading towards dreary, to be honest. I mean, it looks all right on there, but you wouldn't want to put it on a project that's not grungy. Definitely not. Right, I think I'm going to tear this. I like it so much, but it's just got to be torn. I've just got to tear it. It's terrible. Yeah, that's lovely. I can't bring myself to part with that. Yeah, I like that a lot better now it's torn, and it fits in much nicer and everything. So, yeah, I'm happy with those two square heads. That's all right. So let's put a number on it. So it's definitely got a number, and I want some little bits. Little bits. Let's try in here. This is a good place for little bits. Kind of shove them all in here.
Young says it's part of the Miss P convention, a trip to the charity shops with Mr. F.
Yeah. I quite like that. And it's covering up those stamps though. There's like a stamp there with mushrooms on. No, I want a bit of colour. I want some colour in my life.
I'd have to pre-visit them all to make sure there was nothing too good for them.
Wouldn't it be awful if everybody came and found really good stuff in the charity shops you normally go around? You'd be absolutely gutted, wouldn't you?
Of course not.
Yes, you would.
Of course I would.
I think I might use a ticket. I feel a ticket coming upon me. I think that might be the right thing to
Tommy
do.
says hi.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Hi, Tommy. I hope you're doing all right. I might go for green, you know, because we had green in the page facing it. Get your words out. If I can find any green. All the really coloured ones have gone. I've used them all before. What's on that page? No, I haven't seen it. That's kind of green. Oh, that's kind of green, that one there. Let's go for that. Oh, these are like little half ones. Excellent.
Hugh says there's hardly anything good in their thrift stalls.
No, that's
All
a
the
shame.
gremlins get the good stuff at 3 a.m. when the trucks arrive.
That's dedication to duty, isn't it? I'm wondering whether or not to just put a brad through those and leave that like that. You know, ink around it, but put a brad through there. Yeah, if I can find my little brads, that's what I'll do. But I'm not saying I can. What's in there? Brads, I think. Excellent. Right, let's get my foam mat out. It's about to be a crafter launch, as Julie would call it. Yeah, it's on its way. Never mind. Right, so I need to ink around here, because once I've got the thingy on. The brad, I'm not going to be able to ink it, so let's just ink that now. Right, okay. So I want that to go, I want the number on top, I think, is the best way. So I'm just going to overlap them just a little bit, but enough to get a brad in. Get my pokey tool. Yeah, I'm so organised today. So organised. I'll use this one, but it's not as good as the other one. But the cat keeps making off with my other pokey tool. I think the gnomes have told him to fetch a pokey tool. And let's get a brad out. Doesn't matter what colour. I'm not sticking to one colour in anything really of late, because why? You know, I run out of things, and then it's a curse because I can't find things, and so they're going through there, aren't they? So I've decided I'm not. Where did I put my pokey tool in here? About there. I need to ink around here as well.
Hume says it's Catkin's fault. He works for the gnomes now.
Yeah, I know. He's an agent. He's an agent for the gnomes. He has been in a devilish mood this morning, hasn't he?
Yep.
He's been everywhere. He's been. Oh, we found him under the stairs, and we've got under the stairs blocked up. How did he get there? We don't know. We could just hear him in there. We keep like old shoes. I don't know why do I keep old shoes? I don't know, but I do. Under the stairs and stuff, you know, that has no use at all for anything, but we keep it, and it's all under the stairs. So I don't know how long he'd been in there, but I guess he'd enjoyed himself exploring in there. There's lots to explore. So there we go. That's that. And I quite like that. I don't actually think that needs anything more. I think that looks fine to me. Yeah. Right, at some stage over the Christmas time, I will be putting on my Etsy shop the 3 Tim Holtz things that I have made, or will have made by then. The red fold-out one that I made, this blue fold out one, and this taglet once it gets finished. So there'll be those three things going on. I think I'll sell them separately, because then you can decide, you know, if you don't like one, then you don't have to have that one. But I'll definitely I'll finish this off and I'll put the three of them onto my Etsy shop. Don't fall over when you see the price. They won't be cheap, I can tell you, because this Tim Holtz malarkey stuff isn't cheap. I mean, they're not going to be like prohibitively expensive, but you know, usually I try and do my journals really quite inexpensively, but just to cover the blinking costs, these won't be cheap. They're not going to be expensive.
Thanks for clarifying.
Right, so that is that. I shall finish that off when I can. Okay. Right, next thing I want to show you is a new die that I got. I think actually I was on live when this die arrived. That doesn't sound right, does it? The die arrived. And this is what it is. It's an embossing folder. It's not a die at all, so the die didn't arrive. And it's typewriter keys. What do you think, Young? I know you love typewriter keys. And it's a 3D one, so we had a bit of a fuddle this morning trying to get the right plates and shims and everything to get it through, but we did eventually. And what I put it through on was this paper. I don't even know how many decades I might have had this paper for. It's funny stuff. It's almost like compacted sugar paper. It's very soft and very, very matte. But anyway, that was what I thought I wanted to do this on. So we put it through, and this is what we got. Can you see that? How fabulous is that? It's so lovely. Sorry, oh no, they're here. I'm more organised than I thought I was. I've got these Rub and Buff metallic wax finish. I'm sure you'll all have something that is similar to Rub and Buff. When I used to paint furniture, this is what I used to bring out the sort of stringing and stuff like that on the furniture. So I've had it 12, 14 years, something like that. So it's not in its first flush of youth. But these are the two colours that I had. I had pewter and I had antique white, which, given a choice of a whole entire shop, those are the colours I would have chosen. So that was handy, wasn't it? Right, so I'm just going to put out a little bit of this. It's all caked up and whatever, but, you know, still coming out all right. So that's the pewter. And put a wee bit out of the white. It doesn't look healthy in there. But the thing itself is fine. So I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger. If you don't like this sort of thing on your finger, put some gloves on. And I'm just going to lightly rub over it and see what you think. What do you think? Oh, it's fabulous, isn't it? I love it.
Tommy says Finny Bar makes something
Yes,
similar.
they do. They do, and Cosmic Shimmer do. Inca Gold do. There's a lot. There's a lot of gilding waxes around. I do have some Cosmic Shimmer, but I thought I'd use this up because it's the perfect colour. Finnebar make nice mixed media products, really nice. So I'm just going to carry on until I've used all of this pewter up. It's a bit heavier on there, quite like it.
Young says your brayer and paint trick would work too, I bet.
Yeah, I think it probably would. But I like this, I love this metallic thing. It's got a lovely smell actually. It smells like shoe polish, really nice. Yeah, if ever you've lost me, I'm just sniffing the shoe polish. So there we are, that's kind of the end of the pewter, and it's got an and a hashtag at the end as well, an ampersand and a hashtag. So that's that with the pewter on. Doesn't it look grand? And let's just go in with a little bit of white just over the top. Might just pick them out, might not. Oops, it's gone everywhere.
Jung says it's like a dry brush effect.
Yeah.
And Tommy says it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Kyung, it literally is a dry brush effect. I think you could do it very successfully with just a bit of gesso on your brush, to be honest. Got to make the F nice. So I'm just going to carry on till I've finished this white.
Put on top of that H.
The H. Oh yeah. Now I've mixed the white and the pewter together. I've got some sort of weird grey child. I just really wanted to put this on the top, but I'm being a bit heavy-handed here. So what's new?
Heavy-fingered.
Heavy-fingered, yeah. I feel like I'm not pressing at all, but obviously I am.
Janya says, shoe polish sniffer, Miss P. We're learning about you today.
Yeah, shoe polish sniffer. I love shoe polish. This stuff smells exactly the same. Must be paraffin wax or something, I guess. So there we go. I've used up all my waxy stuff, and just look at it.
If you gave a good buff with a soft cloth, it would.
I'm just gonna have a little go at my fingers. Just get my. For those of you that missed it, it's my Christmas present this year. Look at the size of that. Woohoo! And I got 6 of them. Excuse me, 6. Yes, we have nowhere to store them. So at the moment they're residing in the kitchen, but they can't stay there forever. Just rub that off my messy mat. Right, so, well, that's a clean bit of towel, so let's give them a bit of a buff then. Hi Alona, you all organised? All sorted? That's a bit, it's, I need something softer, like a Timmy towel. A buffing cloth. But you didn't know I could move that fast, did you?
I certainly didn't.
Right, so there we are. I don't know if you left it to dry, if you could buff it some more, but I'm pleased with the result anyway. I really like it. Look at that. Look at that. And what I was thinking was that you could cut out each letter individually. I'm going to cut out F. So you would, in effect, be making your own embellishments, and I'm a great fan of doing that. Using, you know, like the numbers on the Tim Holtz sheet of paper, embossing them, that's embellishments. But cheaper than you would pay. Oh, I'm all out of breath now after that. After that frantic buffing.
Buffing with gusto.
Yeah. Buffing with Miss P. Right, so there we have it. That's the F. And I just really think that would make a nice addition to anything, really. I'm pretty sure you could also do it with the crayons, the distress crayons. I think they would look nice. I don't know if they wouldn't buff up as much as this. This is Rub and Buff, it's called. The name's in the title. Clues in the title. Yeah, you put it on, you buff it. So there you go. I just thought you might be interested in that, and if you're very interested in it, I shall tell you the name is called Typewriter. Be careful though, because he also has a set called Typewriter that are Biggs dies. And the number is 664760. 664760. So there we are. I'm very pleased with that. Sometimes you get them and you're just disappointed, aren't you, in what they are, but I really like those. Right, so for my next and final trick today.
Young says it's gone onto a list.
Yeah.
And Rachel's got to go, so...
Oh, okay, Rachel. Well, I know you're not celebrating Christmas this year, but I still hope that you have, you know, a peaceful and restful festive time. Take care. Okay, so now I'm bringing in something that is really not Tim Holtz. Mr. F, you're going to have to back out a bit because this is big. We've moved into big stuff.
Beep, 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 beep. That's me reversing.
That's good. Good reversing.
How's that?
That's not big enough. I need the whole 12 by 12.
Ooh,
yeah.
Don't we all?
There we go.
How's that?
I think that's okay. Yeah, it's fine. Right, so this is my Prima pad, which is called Watercolor Floral. I've had it for ages. I've made some bits of ephemera and stuff like that out of it, but I love it so much that it's one of those that, you know, you just don't use because you love so much. But I wanted to show you how I'd made this in case any of you wanted to do it, because it's a nice little thing. It's really lovely, I think, as a rack or a journal insertion, something like that. So let's just have a look through at what's left. I do religiously keep all my remnants. I think this is the page that I want. This one here. Look at that, how beautiful is that? It's got gold foiling on it. It's gorgeous. And the back is suitable too, it's not. So let's just pull that out of there. You always get the, well, what they call a branding strip. Oh, come on. That's it. There we go. So look at that. What a sight for sore eyes. So I'm going to hopefully show you how to do that. Right? It might work, it might not work. For a start, I need to cut that branding strip off because it'll just mess my measurements up. As I said to you the other day, I didn't, this isn't a copy of anybody else's. I actually came up with these measurements myself. And you know when people say to you, oh, I've got a nice little easy 12 by 12 project for you here. This isn't it. I didn't find it particularly easy. Right, so that's that branding strip off. I'll pop that back into the book because you never know when you might need it. And get your scoreboard out. Right. So, this is pretty non-directional. It has got text on, but I'm not worried about it. But this is the top up here. So I'm going to start with the top at the top. But I don't think it's particularly necessary. Right, so score at 1.5. I've never made this out of card before, so I'm hoping it's still going to be all right. Right, so I'm gonna go down there twice because it's quite thick card, this Prima. Score at 4, so that's 1.5 and 4. 8.5. And 11. Okay, so that's 1.5, 4, 8.5 and 11. There you go, should you wish to screenshot the measurements. Okay, 90 degrees to the left, and then we score at 2.5 and 9.5. And that's the scoring done. I did, when I did my first one, add extra score marks, but they're not necessary. So I'm keeping it as easy as I can. Right, let's get this one out then so as I can see where I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. Oh dear, I don't think this is ever going to look like that, but never mind. Oh, that's such a pretty blue, isn't it? Right, so I want it so as the top, the bit that we decided was the top, is at the top. Okay? And I want to cut out this square here. There is a score line there as well, but this line here, this score line here, and along here, you want to cut that out completely. And cut it out on the inside of the score so you don't get a nasty edge to your finished piece. So we're cutting that out on the sort of inside of the score mark. That is such a pretty blue, isn't it? There we go. So that's that. So hang on to those because you can make pockets and things for it should you feel so inclined. So the next thing I want to do is cut out the one in the opposite corner. Same thing, just cut that out in the opposite corner. Now I'm doing this, it doesn't seem that difficult. I don't know what I was building it up for. Come join me, we'll make a simple booklet out of a piece of 12 by 12. Right, so that's another piece that we've got. Now here, this is where we're going to fold this over to make this little pocket on the side. So what you want to do here, on this section here, is cut all the way along the score line. Well, just inside the score line. All the way along to that score mark there, like that. And then decide how big you want your pocket. I think something like 1.25 inches, something like that would do. I'll just make a mark.
Bernice has got to go.
All right, Bernice, well, I wish you a very, very happy festive period for you, your family and friends. Thank you for all your support throughout the year. You've been marvellous. And, yeah, enjoy yourself. And I'll see you possibly in the new year. Okay, bye. Yeah, so I'm going to make that 1.25 inches, mine. But you can make it whatever you fancy. I'm just going to draw a line down there because we all know I'm rubbish with scissors. So just cut down there. Down the line you've just marked. There we are. I haven't actually cut enough of that score line off. I can still see it. And I don't like it. So I'm going to go right along to there. And yeah, it's dropped out. So there's another little bit that you can keep should you wish. And then we're going to do exactly the same with the diagonal here. So we want to cut along that line, but we want to, you know, maybe you want it the same, 1.25 inches, maybe you want 2 inches, whatever. But I'm going to do mine again at 1.25 inches. You could score these when you're actually making your thing. Oops. But when I tried to do that, it seemed to be overly complicated. I just found it easier to do it this way. So cut along that score line. In fact, cut the score line out, really. So just a little bit above that. So we can cut that out so things should fold better when we come to fold them. Cut that down that line that you've just drawn. There we go, keep that as well, you never know. Right, and that's it, it's pretty much there really.
Laura Holtz is fine.
Hiya Laura, hope you have a lovely Edith time. So I'm just going to fold these over like this onto this side. Make sure that they're square at the bottom, and if they look like they're going to catch on that crease, just trim them. See, we haven't trimmed anything off there, and you need to really cut out the scored section. It's only tiny, it's only a little bit, but it does make a big difference in how things fold. Like that, so that's there. So that now is going to fold up like that. Just get the...
Nancy's got to go for some last minute stocking stuffing.
Oh, Nancy, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate all of you are very busy today. You thank you for your friendship this year. You've given me so much. I don't mean physical things, just advice and friendship, and I value it enormously. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a lovely Christmas with your family. Right, so let's fold this in and give it a good bone folding. That sounds so rude, doesn't it? And then fold that in there. So now we've got our two bits that you can see here. This bit and this bit. Okay. So now then, the next thing to do is let's fold in this little inch pocket. And once again, I can see that I just haven't caught. It's difficult with the lights on. I know that, you know, it's not an excuse. It is difficult with the lights on to see exactly what you can see. There we go. So this goes to the side. So fold that over, crease it down. And fold that over and give it a good bone folding. There we are. Now this one, same thing. Just check you've got the score marks out the way. And this is a slightly deeper. I can just see a little bit of a score mark there, so I'm just going to take that out. It is worth doing this, otherwise it just doesn't lie flat. This way. So fold that over, give it a good crease, and then like that. So they just cross over on the front, but just enough. So I'll crease that in. So that's it. I mean, I made it out to be like really difficult, and it's not, is it? It's really pretty as well, isn't it? My goodness, you could have some fun decorating that. And because we started with a top at the top, we've got the text the right way up. That's quite incredible, isn't it? And I'll show you how I put on the closure on mine, because that's the only thing that's just a bit different about this project. So I actually use tickets, but I don't think tickets are appropriate for this beautiful paper. So I'll use a little bit of the paper is what I'll do. And I'm just going to cut them into, strip. I'm going to cut that thing off first. The score mark, and I think I want them about, how wide are they, because they're about perfect. They are they're an inch, would you believe that? Well, yeah, you would, because I just said, but I didn't think they were quite that big. Right, so let's cut an inch off there. Okay, I don't want to use the next bit because it's got a score mark on it, so I'm going to turn it around and use the other bit. There, okay, so now we've got 2-inch pieces. You probably would want to ink this before you start doing this, and you definitely want to ink these. What colour? I'm going to use my tea dye because I've got it here. I don't think you want a dark colour, and maybe a nice blue would be nice, I don't know, but I'm just going to use my tea dye because it's out.
Sharon says she's going to make a dummy model on copier paper. First.
Yeah, the only problem with copier paper is not wide enough. You need 12 by 12s. But in that heirloom pack that we bought a lot of last year, there are some prints in there that I'm not keen on at all, and I'd never use. So I did my dummies, not the plural dummies, on sheets of that heirloom paper. My guess is that we've all got 12 by 12s hanging around that we don't like at least one of the prints. So, you know, if you want to have a dummy run, do it with one of those dummy papers. Right, so then what I did was I folded it in half and creased it properly. I don't know how much this measures. It's kind of arbitrary amount, isn't it, at the moment? Let's have a look. It's 2.5 inches, which I think will be fine. Jesus, round the desk. Oops, that's not square. It's always difficult with little bits, isn't it, getting them exactly square. There we are, right, okay. So I'm just going to ink that edge because it's going to be visible. There we go, right. So then I've got a pencil mark there, wouldn't you know it? Oh no, it's a bit of gold foil. So which do I like? I like that best and that best probably. So I'm going to glue these together now. I'm not going to use a whole lot of glue, especially at the folded side. Like that. And this one I'm going to leave open for the time being. So I've just glued one down. The other is remaining open. So now I'm going to see where I want my eyelets to go. And I think about there. And, well, I'll poke that one out, then I'll do the other one the same. So I'm going to use the biggest one simply because I haven't got any small eyelets. They're on the to buy list and I keep forgetting them. Right, that may or may not be central. It will be near enough. So I'm just going to use that first one as a guide for the second one, and then I'm going to put my eyelets in. You can use pretty colours if you've got pretty colours. I'm going to use gold actually because the leafing on the page is gold, so I think that will go quite nicely. So I think this is a pretty little thing when it's all done actually. I quite like it.
Push the thing to the end.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Crunch those in place. So have all of you asked Santa for crafty stuff? There's always a worry when you ask people to get you crafty stuff that, you know, they just don't get it and don't buy your best Tim Holtz stuff. They have a look at the Tim Holtz stuff and think, phew, that's expensive. I'm just going to swing this round from one to the other, and I find doing that I get a better finish on the back. I think it's my particular eyelets because they were quite cheap and cheerful ones and they don't splay out that nicely on the back, but if I do that they're fine. Right, so here we go. Now you need to decide which one you want on the top. I like it like this with the one on the top on the left, and which is the one I've glued, this one. Now you can put it in the middle if you want to. Of course you can, there's nothing stopping you putting it in the middle. I just thought with mine it looked quite nice when it was up a little bit. maybe not that much, but there, sort of there. I quite like it there. So I'm just going to put a little pencil mark there, just to help me guide it. I'm just going to stick that down. Obviously, don't stick over where your eyelet is. Just sort of stick half of it, put glue over half of it. Like that. Put a fair bit of glue on because it will have some tension. But not that much because that's just ridiculous. Right, so I'm just going to pop this where we made the marks. Like so. So that's our left side one on. Now then, this one that we glued together, it's going to go on top of this section here. And you want to leave a little space, but not much. Just a little space between them. I think it looks better. And get them lined up. Here comes the ruler.
Chesita says hi.
Hi Chesita, how are you? Hope you're doing all right. So that's, yeah, that's about that. So I want that about there. So let's make some marks there. Hang on to it. There and there. Lovely. And get that glued down. Same thing, about half of it, because you're going to want to pass the string underneath it. All right, Mr. Ev.
Yes.
I thought you were looking like I'd done something wrong.
No. Your bum's gone to sleep.
Your bum's gone to sleep. Oh dear. Well, you all needed to know that, you know. Right, so that's going to go there on the pencil marks. And if you feel inclined, you can add a little clip to it just to keep it. Let me just get my bird box, my clips in. So I'm just going to clip that there, and I don't know if I can get a clip to go there. Near enough. Near enough. So that will just, won't take long to dry in this room. It's boiling hot, and the art glitter doesn't take long to dry anyway, so it won't take long. So there we have it. There is our little folio, flip out I guess, I don't know. Anyway, you glue the top and the bottom of there, and you've got a nice little side pocket, but ink it all first if you want to. I'm going to have to take those off there now. Probably done the job. And same here, you've got just a little thing just to tuck things into. Here you've got a nice pocket that you can get a tag into, and the same on the top there. I mean, isn't that just so beautiful? What I did with mine was I cut a frame out at the back.
Tommy's got to go.
Okay, well Tommy, I hope you have the best Christmas that you can have. I know things in your family are difficult at the moment, but I hope that you and your mother try and make the best of it, and I'll see you on the other side. Yeah, so I cut a frame out of it, and I put it's a piece of Tim Holtz paper behind it and one of the dolls. I don't think that's entirely appropriate with this, but you could still cut a frame out, and you could put a really nice floral picture in there, you know, like a bluebell or something really nice. I wasn't that organised that I actually, wasn't convinced that it was going to work, if I'm honest with you. If I'm really honest with you, I wasn't convinced it was going to work. But it has worked. So that's it. So I will finish that actually, because I don't really want to waste that Prima paper, because it's so nice. And then you get a bit of string. Let's get a bit of string, shall we? Let's do this. What's that down there? Oh, that's green. I don't want that really. I'll go back to the hairy string. It's near enough. I don't know how much I need. So you just pass it through there. Pass the other one through there. And then this natty little trick that I learnt that I passed on to you yesterday, but it really does work. So when you start to make your bow, you pass it through once, but if you pass it through again, when you tighten it, look at that. How magical is that? No bounce back. It's a magical trick. I don't know who I learnt it from, but if it was you, I'm very grateful. And then you just tie your bow at your leisure, because it's not all coming undone, and there you have it. So there we go. By the time you get that inked up and prettified up and everything else, it's a really nice little project for you, I think.
Sharon says pearls would look nice on that one.
Pearls. Pearl's a singer. That's a song. I don't know if it reached America or not. Right, let's have a look and see what people are saying. Tommy says she loves us guys. That's all of us. That's the family. That's the Paint a Lot family. Gonnie, Janya, Gorge. Oh, thank you, Janya. Could you just close in a little bit so they can see just how pretty this paper is, because it's really gorgeous. I know, in, out, shaking all about. People that have got lots of money have got like clickers that they go in and out with. Yeah, there we are. That's it. It's got gold foiling on and everything. It's really nice. I love it. Everybody say, oh, I love that one, the Timmy one. Which one, Chastita? Oh, this one, the Timmy one. They're very different beasts, aren't they? Very, very different. This, I thought I'd better bring some pretty into my life, because you lot are probably sick of Timmy by now. But yeah, I love the Timmy one. I do, I really do. And in fact now, for me to go and try to decorate that, I'd really have to scratch my head, because I can't remember how you do it. Can't remember how you decorate normally, not Timmy style. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, I will be putting this on Etsy, and the little taglet book, this book, when it all gets all finished, and it'll have a clamp there, and I'll be putting an art. So I'll put the three of them on, all different listings, so, you know, if you like one, you don't like the other, then, you know, you don't have to have all three. Yeah, it's a very cool trick, Janya. Really is. Did you try it last night, Kyung? It's. I can't believe I'd never heard of it before. Love the gold. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? That's Prima paper. All their pads, they're just beautiful. Could never get sick of Timmy. That's good, because I feel quite a lot coming on. Laura, yes, Edith is still to finish. I need to do another section of that, I think. Keep it moving along. I'm very new to papercraft, so it's a wonderful world to me. It's wonderful. You're very fortunate, I think, to have found these group of people. They're wonderful people. They're kind, they're helpful. What more could you ask for? They're very, very supportive. The tablet would be pretty in floral too. The tablet, yeah. Well, there's nothing stopping you. I showed you how to make this yesterday. After a fashion. We made the birdie one yesterday. We made this one yesterday, which I haven't progressed with. But it's easily peasily to make. I mean, I say that now that I've made it. I did get in a bit of a bind at the start. But once you get going with it, it's really easy to make. It's just 6 pieces of cards shaped like tags.
Jim and Peg says hi, Merry Christmas.
Oh, Peg, thank you so much for your buying me a coffee through the week. So appreciate it. I hope that you are having a wonderful time. Really do. Thank you for your support.
She's watching on my big telly.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Right, well, I think that's about it, guys, for this side of Christmas. At any rate. We've covered some ground really in the last couple of days. Where's my lovely this? I really like that actually. I think that's useful. Very useful. So yeah, we've done loads of stuff. Now you know how to do this. You can do it in any paper that you fancy. Can be shabby chic, vintage, well, any style you can think of. That's the Timmy version. I did alter it somewhat, as you see. Altered my measurements, but I like that one. So there you go. Well, what can I say? Please look after yourselves. Look after each other. It's a special time of year, and sometimes feelings can run high. Emotions can run high. Just be patient, be tolerant, and most of all, be kind. Kindness doesn't cost anything, but it makes such a difference. Oh. And I wish you all, or everyone that celebrates Christmas, a very happy Christmas. Those of you that don't celebrate Christmas, you may still be off work, etc. So have a lovely restful time. Eat well. Don't drink too much, please. Although that's not my business. Do what you like. And I shall see you all the other side of Christmas Day. I'm not sure yet which day it will be. I'm not doing a live tomorrow. We're just going to have a restful day. So, yeah, eat well, be kind, and I'll see you all soon. At the end, you know, the way we normally put things up that I've made, this is it's a bit squished actually. This was a bowl that I felted. I was rather hoping that Jen would see it because I know that she likes felting, but you like felting as well, Keon. And it's to represent the hillside at the back of us, the fell. And that's it there. I felted it and then I put some hand stitching on it. Yeah, I mean, it was quite nice when it was first made. This is supposed to be like this because it represents the hills, you know, in an arty sort of way. Anyway, that's that. I couldn't bear to part with it, so we've still got it. Obviously don't look after it very well because it's squished. I'll see you all soon. Please have a lovely time and remember, be kind to people. Bye!
Bye everyone, have a nice festivities. See you next year or next day or whenever.
In a while.
In a while. Bye for now.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.